Hey
All right.
everyone, Anissa Coy here with Firehouse Education, and I've got a really special video for you and a treat. You're not just going to have me sitting here talking to you. I have a special guest, and I'm so excited to welcome him. His name's Scott Peterson, and he is with Home Perfect Restoration, based in the beautiful sunny state of California. And as you can see, with his background is the beautiful Pacific Ocean. So thank you, Scott, for joining me, and welcome.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for reaching out.
So Scott and I have known each other, gosh, how long have we known each other? About 4 years now?
Yeah, about five
Yeah.
and a half years, something like that.
Yeah, we go back a little. And Scott has a really awesome restoration company, and he does a wide variety of services. I'll let him tell you about. I wanted to have a conversation with him today and talk a little bit about kind of a hot topic and things that are going around the industry that I feel like there's, maybe a little bit of misinformation, or maybe a little bit of guidance that's going on there that is a little concerning. And I really, I've been in the industry 18 years. Scott, how many years have you been in the industry?
12.
12 years. Okay.
Yeah.
So between the two of us, you have 30 years of restoration experience here. So I feel like, Scott and I both have very successful companies. We've been doing this a while, and, we figured out what works, what doesn't work. And I really just wanted to share with everyone, some of you may be new in the industry. Maybe you've been here for a while, but you find things kind of not working. And I just really wanted to talk about accounts receivable and cash flow. Because let's face it, in the restoration industry, that can really be kind of a tough area to really get down in your company, your accounts receivable and your cash flow. I mean, cash flow or lack thereof can really kill you in a minute, right? When you're doing, regular restoration, or whether you're doing cat work or whatever, it doesn't matter. But I really wanted to just kind of interview Scott, if you will, today, ask him some questions, and he was gracious enough to be willing to share with you all exactly what's working really well for him, because he's really nailed this down and gotten a good system going on with his accounts receivable and his billing and getting paid quickly. And I know that, I do real well with that in my business. I wanted to ask Scott a few questions, so we're just gonna get right in on this. And your palm trees in the background, Scott, are really distracting me.
Here. Is that better?
No. I'm teasing. I love saying that. No, well, the beach is distracting me too, but it's awesome. So anyway, Scott's taking time out of his day at the beach with his family. So thank you so much for that, Scott. But
You're
I
welcome.
have a couple questions, and maybe just at first you can kind of tell everybody watching, Scott, how long have you been in the restoration industry and in business, and kind of where you're located, and maybe how many employees that you have?
Sure. So I've been in the industry for 12 years. I sold my last company that was in Reno, Nevada in 2012, prior to moving down to Southern California. So Home Perfect, we started in 2013, and we've had great success. We have 24 employees now, 15 service trucks. We service most of Southern California, San Diego, South Orange County, into Palm Springs, Riverside County. And then since we've started our company back up in Reno, Nevada again, that we started at the end of 2016. And we just have 4 employees for that company there. So that company is going pretty well for just starting and getting some accounts back and getting some relationships going again. So happy. We've got a really good general manager there that is just doing incredible. You know him because we hooked him up with you, Carl, because he's
Awesome.
went through Firehouse Education, and it's been great. We've had more fires in the Reno market than down in Southern California that he's been locking up. So it's been good.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
And so, Scott, what services do you offer in your company?
So for the Southern California, we have a cleaning division taking care of our carpet, tile, upholstery cleaning. We offer our 24-hour mitigation, fire, water, mold, smoke damage cleanup, and we offer construction that we just started offering at the end of last year.
Mm-hmm.
So that just worked out well for us. We had a company that we were referring all of our putback work to, and he just didn't want to grow anymore, or chase money, I guess you can say. So he wanted to just work for a company, have a steady paycheck, and he just asked me to take over his company. So I took over his company, all of his employees, which were already fabulous. Those guys always did a great job, and it's been a really good relationship for us.
That's great.
And then in Reno, we don't do construction. We do everything else, but we just don't do the construction piece.
Do you do carpet cleaning, Scott? Did you say?
We do, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, we really, I mean, carpet cleaning's been great for us, but we use that to make our restoration business more marketable. We use that to get in with property managers right away, fill that instant need, and now we're their guy. We use that to market to realtors. So it's been something I wouldn't want to cut out because it really does help out quite a bit.
We did the same thing, Scott. We use carpet cleaning to get flood work and fire work and in with property managers and big school systems and things like that. So that's
right.
Great. So I wanted to ask you, the other day you did a really awesome video and you talked about your accounts receivable, and I wanted to kind of ask you a little bit about that. If you would maybe share with everybody how you handle your receivables, when you get a loss in and you're dealing with that with the insurance company adjuster, with the homeowner. You kind of summed it up really great in the way that you handle that system. So can you kind of tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think we're always tweaking that system a little bit. I mean, we almost put ourselves out of business because our cash flow almost killed us. We're doing 40, 50 floods a month, doing the construction on that, which was newer for us. So we're financing all these jobs, and like literally it was getting really tight with making payroll. So we made some changes in our company. One, we didn't start a repair job until mitigation was paid. But really we just opened up better communication between the adjuster and the homeowner. And instead of just invoicing the adjuster and saying, here you go, pay this, we just made sure that everything was in writing. We would invoice the client and the adjuster. All the communication was to both of them at all times. We let the adjuster know if there was anything throughout that process that may be a challenge or maybe something that we were going to have to kind of do something out of the ordinary. So they were already clear and aware of it. But really just putting everything in writing, it held everybody accountable. And then not starting repairs for a client until mitigation was paid. It has the client calling the adjuster at the same time saying, hey, you need to pay these guys, get them their money. They did a great job. We took your advice and we submitted a survey from our client just so the adjuster can say, hey, these guys see that we did a great job and the client's happy. That does help out a lot. So that's little things that we did in our business, but really it was just having everything in writing and making sure that there's full transparency between the adjuster and the homeowner.
It's definitely huge, isn't it? Making sure that your adjuster is sharing that with your adjuster, so he knows that that the client's happy with you, right? There's no argument about, oh, Scott or Home Perfect did not do the job well, the homeowner's not happy. There's no concern there because they already know that up front. So I know that you feel the same way that we do. Obviously, the person signing our contract and our first and foremost obligator is the client, the homeowner, right? That's our first client. However, we do have multiple clients on a job. And what I feel like you're saying here, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that you're including the adjuster in that client relationship by doing the courtesy of handling the insurance billing for the homeowner, not just hanging them out there and going, here's your bill. You owe me $22,000 to, mitigate your sewer loss, your dry out, your whatever that is, and then leaving them to just figure out what is going on. Like you're actually being the liaison and you're handling that as a courtesy for them, but you are handling that with the insurance adjuster, correct?
Yeah, we are. I mean, it's our invoice, so we're not going to leave a homeowner to try to justify what we're billing on our invoice. Right. So we're not going to do that to the client. I mean, our whole thing with our company is we want the most stressful part for them to be when they had the loss, and once they call us, everything there is a breeze. That's building a referral or a cheerleader for your company, and that's how we don't advertise like crazy. We get referrals. That's how we built our business.
I was just going to say, well, that really does. It can leave your client feeling like you're just abandoning them and that you're leaving them high and dry. And that
Right.
shift isn't going to make them raving fans and get you the testimonials and the referrals that you want, which we do the same thing. And I agree with you 100%. I think that's a really solid way to go, because you're not just building relationships with the homeowners who are going to refer you, but you're also building relationships, correct, with the adjuster.
Yeah, yeah. So it's funny. So we're a preferred vendor with Safeco Liberty Mutual. Never tried to be. We had adjusters referring us work, and then they got in trouble because they weren't on their program. So out of the 40 to 50 floods a month we do, like
Right,
three to five come through the program.
right.
But we took ourselves in part of this program network. They just threw us on for farmers. We took ourselves off. They threw us on for State Farm. We took ourselves off. Nothing bad against those programs. That's just not our business model. But we still have adjusters that refer us work, even though that we're not on their program. A lot of times on the repair side, they go out there, mitigation's done. The company doesn't give them any referrals of who can put their house back together. So the adjuster says, hey, these guys are great. And the reason for that is we have really good communication. So we can usually address things right from the beginning, not hit them with a bunch of supplements, and they appreciate that. So,
So
I
don't
would,
you think, Scott,
yep,
you have relationships with those adjusters because you haven't made them an enemy, right? I mean,
right.
it's not been this, you versus the adjuster mentality that I know I've seen some out there, and I just really want to caution everybody that that's not a positive way to go, and it's not how you build relationships. And that's, you're telling me your huge success that you've been having has been because of those relationships you're building. These guys, adjusters, are referring you jobs, and you're not even on their vendor programs.
Yeah, I just like full transparency. I was back in the day like I'm not cool with adjusters. They are the enemy. And then I hired you guys as my coach, and we kind of worked through some things. And are there bad adjusters out there? Absolutely. Are there adjusters
Absolutely.
that we're never going to get along with or agree on anything? Absolutely. But there's also really good adjusters too. And when you understand that they're just doing their job, and that's fine. Like, you can't fault them for that. We just have to explain better and get on the same terms of what can we agree on to get this claim resolved. It goes a lot better. And we have adjusters that will pay us within 48 hours. They are capable of doing
Wow.
that. And then you have insurance companies that are going to drag it on for months and months. But you got to get out of the mindset that all of them are bad and all of them are not going to pay you in full. And just going back to some of the last comments about bill your client, don't deal with the insurance company.
Mhm.
It's just not reality. I mean, we have clients with money that if they think they're going to pay us even $3,000 that they may not get back, you got an enemy on your hands, no matter how well that job goes.
Right. And so, and if that happens, you've lost a huge potential referral source, which could be how much money to you? I mean, I had
Oh,
one
huge.
client, I did a fire job for her. 5 years later, her best friend had a fire in her house. She sent that client to me. I made $26,000 on that.
Right.
So what was that relationship worth? Had I made this woman an enemy? I mean, she loves me this day. So, I mean, we're friends on Facebook, right? She sends me a Christmas card every year. So the lifetime value of a potential referral relationship, I think, is huge, and is something I want everybody really to be listening to. And what Scott just said here is powerful, and I hope you guys are really listening to that. So you made the comment about some adjusters paying you in 48 hours, which I know I enjoy that too, which is amazing. But I know in the past that's not been the case for you. But like right now, give us like some kind of idea. What kind of time frame do you look at when somebody, getting paid on loss? Like how long are your receivables dragging out there? I mean, the majority of them.
Typically on mitigation, we're anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks because we have the clients fighting for us too to get us paid because we typically don't start the repairs until mitigation's paid.
Right.
So when we didn't do that, we were anywhere from 1 to 3 months to get paid on mitigation. So it helps out quite a bit more. So this last one where we got paid in 48 hours, the homeowner was on this adjuster that they need to get their house repaired. The
Mhm.
guy is military. He's going to go on a deployment. So when we sent in the invoice to the homeowner and the adjuster, the homeowner followed up with an email of like, I need to get this thing approved so I can get the repair started. And it was, I mean, money in the account, direct deposit within 48 hours, paid in full, no questions asked. We submitted the repair estimate, which was $33,000. They paid that in full, no argument. So they have the capability, and this isn't an insurance company that we're like buddy buddy with. We're not a preferred for them. there really wasn't a relationship, but we really leveraged the homeowner, knowing that we did a good job for them, and use them to help us get paid in a timely manner.
Right.
So it helps out a lot.
And don't you think they were really willing to step up there because it was like you made them part of your accounts receivable team. I mean, they knew
Right.
you had their back, and so therefore they had your back. But if you had just handed that client an invoice and said, "You owe me $20,000. Have a nice day, and it's due, in 10 days, or I'm putting a lien on your house," I don't think it'd have been that way. Do you, Scott?
No, it wouldn't have. And what a, there's adjusters out there that will try to badmouth us. They want their preferred vendors. So if that's the way you're going to handle it and just bill your client and let them figure it out, well, one, you're not going to have a happy client to begin with. You're probably not going to have them referring you business, but it just opens up opportunity for the adjuster to be like, see, you should have went with our preferred vendor. You should have never went with that guy, no matter how well the job went, because you're leaving the client just stranded. And I talked to a couple people and they said, oh, that's not what we really meant. We meant, bill your client. And it's not clear what they really mean. So they are saying bill your client and justify your invoice to the adjuster. But that's the way it should be is, yes, of course, you're going to invoice your client. That's who your contract's with.
Absolutely.
But try to make it easy and deal with the adjuster and get all the communication, all the details out that they need so they can get the claim paid. If you're just going to bill a client and then just not answer any phone calls, well, good luck getting paid in a timely manner. It's just not going to happen.
And I think that's really awesome, Scott. I want to make sure anybody watching the video is really getting this. We are not saying don't bill your client. Obviously, you bill, your client who has signed the contract and ultimately responsible for the bill is the homeowner, the insured, the property owner. However, at the end of the day, you guys, in restoration, the person that's actually paying the bill is the adjuster. They're the ones writing the check. So if we keep them as and I don't want to say, if we don't make them an enemy, if we don't make them the bad guy, if you will, on the job, then like what Scott's saying here, he has created a beautiful trifecta here where he's got himself, he's got the homeowner, and he has the adjuster. So the adjuster's writing the check. The homeowner is ultimately financially responsible. So they're very motivated to make sure that the insurance company pays the bill and handles it. And Scott's over here doing the work and making sure that it's getting done right and is acknowledging the person financially responsible, which is the insured, and keeping them in the middle of the mix. And he has just done a great job with bringing this whole thing together. And the reason that I really wanted, and I thank you so much, Scott, for doing this with me. The reason I wanted to talk to Scott today and bring this out to you guys is I wanted you to understand that there is a better way to do this. And the insurance company is not our enemy. If it weren't for insurance companies, you guys, I don't know what our industry would be. I'm not sure that our industry would exist. It's kind of like, I know the other day, Scott, you and I were talking in a little different analogy. If somebody goes into the ER because they've been in a car crash and the medical doctor decides, well, I'm just not even going to pay any attention to their medical insurance company. This guy's is in here getting these services. He's the one that signed this with me, which you do. You're financially responsible at a hospital, but I'm not going to pay attention to your insurance company. I'm not going to submit proper paperwork to them. I'm not going to speak their language. I'm not going to deal with them. He would be shooting himself in the foot. And hospitals today would not exist, not the way they do, if it weren't for medical insurance companies. And it's the same way I feel in our industry. Restoration companies exist in part because of the way insurance companies have set themselves up in this industry. You said something to me, Scott, that was so great the other day. When someone decides they want to remodel their kitchen, it's a planned event. They plan for it, they save for it, they budget, they go get a loan, they go to the bank, whatever they do, but it's planned. And so they're excited about it. When somebody has a sewer backup in their house, no one's excited about that. When they come home from work and their washing machine or their refrigerator line has broken or their washing machine hose, came out and they have a flood in their house, they're not excited about it and they didn't plan it. And they don't just have $15,000 or $20,000 sitting back in their checking account to pay for a mitigation and dry out, or, God forbid, they have a mold situation occur in their house. So,
Right.
Same thing with a fire and in dealing with contents. So that's why they have homeowners insurance. So I really, really, really want to stress to anyone watching the video that it's really important that you understand the insurance company is not our enemy here. They're in it with us. There is sometimes a little bit of push here and there, but through education, great communication, as Scott pointed out, and us working with our homeowners, our clients, our insured in the middle of the mix, I think we can have an awesome situation occur where you're getting paid timely, and this waiting 3, 4, 6 months to get paid, that shouldn't be happening. If that's happening to you in your restoration company, you're definitely doing something wrong. There's something you're missing in your procedures or the way that you're doing things. So
Yeah, I
anyways,
think it's important to note that there's a lot of times there's multiple adjusters on a file,
yep,
right? So you may have your desk adjuster who's your biggest pain in the butt adjuster,
yeah,
typically, because they never see you.
right,
So, but you want to have that field adjuster. You can leverage them to get things paid too, as long as you have good communication with the field adjuster, and he's not essentially approving things along the way, but he understands why you're doing something and he's agreeing with that. And then the desk adjuster doesn't want to pay it. You go back to the field adjuster and they can make a phone call. It's happened many times for us where or a field adjuster said, "Hey, these guys did a great job. Just pay them. Like, let's get them done." And the field adjusters typically are the ones that are going to refer you the business when they're coming in front of a homeowner. So I try to keep those separate. I'm not a huge fan of desk adjusters, but I really like the field adjusters for the most part.
and Scott, that's really huge what you just said, and that's where communication and mutual and treating people with respect and professionalism comes into play here, right? I mean,
Right.
and maybe you aren't a big fan. Maybe a field adjuster isn't a big fan of you or me, but you can win them over. I really do believe that. I've done it many times out in the field, and I know you've done it as well. So I really want to encourage everybody that adjusters are not the bad guy here. They're, like Scott said in the beginning of this, there are definitely some tough ones out there. There have been adjusters I have went toe to toe with. And there are definitely adjusters that I have decided I didn't want to work with again. uh, that happens. Okay, we're definitely not saying that. We're not trying to sugarcoat this. But when you move forward with this with good communication and respect and working with attitude, not making the adjuster or the insurance company the bad guy, you're going to get a lot further in this industry and have a whole lot more success. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
we keep a book for when adjusters are kicking back certain things. We'll kick a book on the email chains of what we said to overcome that. So hopefully it will expedite it in the future. But we also keep a book of who the good adjusters, who the supervisors are that helped us get paid. So if we are having an issue with a certain carrier, a lot of times we'll reach back out to that other supervisor that paid us and say, "Hey, can you help us out in this situation? This has been paid before, but we're having a little bit of a kickback from this particular adjuster." And believe it or not, that will a lot of times help out. So just
I
something, a little thing that you can do.
I hope everyone that is watching this video just listen to what Scott just said. That is huge. And that's what I'm talking about. But Scott, that's the communication thing. That's the building up the relationships, right? You can do
Right.
that because you have a relationship with that past adjuster. And you're not going to get that if you shut them out or you have the attitude that they're the bad guy. You're not going to get that. So I hope everybody watching this video really heard what Scott just said, because that was very powerful. And I have the same thing. I do the same
Yeah.
thing. I've got my adjusters that I can call up. I got a big guy in State Farm. I got a big guy at Farmers, because Farmers is definitely one of my tough ones, at least in my state of Washington, that I work with. And I got a guy that I can call and say, "Look, I'm going through this. I need you to help me here." And he's got my back every time. So that's awesome. Scott, I thank you so, so much for doing this with me. I hope everybody watching the video really listens to what we've shared here and said, because I think it's invaluable. It'll go a long way to help you out if you're experiencing difficulties in your accounts receivable, your cash flow, kind of some of those stresses that Scott talked about, back in the day that he had. Share comments with us below this video. Reach out to us. Let us know. I'd love to hear any questions any of you have. And you know what? If you totally think we're just off base and you disagree with us, I'd love to hear that too. So share
If
that.
you got something that works really well for you, share that, because we're always learning, right? Insurance is always changing.
Yep.
So is we're always changing too. So we're always trying to adapt. So if you got something that's working well for your business, I'd love to see those comments because we can always be better for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I totally agree with you, Scott. Totally. All right. Well, thank you so much
Thank you.
again for taking your time off the beach. I'm on the beach here in Washington, but I think your beach might be a little bit warmer than mine is today. So I kind of wish I was there, but
It's cold, but I'm going in.
yeah. Well, we do share the same ocean. We're both on the Pacific. So, all right. Well, hey, thanks a lot, Scott. Thanks for all that you do in this industry. You know, you're one of those restorers that make us all proud, and I'm really happy and excited, and definitely appreciate our friendship. So,
Well, I got to give you guys, you and Kevin, a lot of credit too, because I had a huge mentality shift when I started working with you, which really helped launch our restoration side. We always did well, but we were always having problems on every claim. And you know, working with you guys, it really kind of, you just changed a little change, right? And it went a long way. And we started, you know, working with adjusters to still, we didn't sacrifice our quality, we didn't sacrifice our pricing.
no,
We still stayed true to our price. The prices never went down, they never changed. We were just able to justify better and have better communication. So if you're new in the industry or if you're constantly having problems, I recommend that you do reach out to Kevin and Isa, and a little coaching. I mean, it goes a long way, and it really helped. It really helped catapult our business into better relationships and more profits.
that's awesome. Thanks, Scott.
So
Again, thanks for being one of those amazing restorers that make me love this industry so, so much. All
yeah,
right.
it's a great industry.
It is, isn't it? All right. Well, thank you again so much for watching the video. If you want to reach out to us, like Scott said, we want to hear what's working for you, not just what is not working for you. Tell us about your successes. We'd love to hear them. If there's anything more you would maybe like us to talk about, please again comment about that. Let us know. You can reach me at anisa@firehouseeducation.com, and you can reach Scott on the beach in beautiful Southern California.
Right.
All right. And on that note, y'all have a great day. Okay.
All right. Thanks.